What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Police. We're moving on to their next album. Once again, big shout out to Lori. And the next album is Ghost in the Machine, which is an expression that's been used in many different cultural things going back a great many centuries. But the idea of dualism, right? Like, whether you're talking Descartes or otherwise, it refers to the idea that, at least for humans, and depending on who you ask, maybe all living things, there is a essence, a non-physical, non-chemical, spiritual essence that resides at the beginning of at the center of everything, the essential life essence. So the idea that, the body dying is, only part of the story, and there is still a ghost in the machine. So the first track, Spirits in the Material World, feels very on brand, or very on concept, or on topic. So again, it speaks to a metaphysical dualism, the idea that there are two essentially different forms of substance, that it is not a monistic position. So I'm curious, what they have to say about it, not knowing too much outside of the hits of the Police going into this. Hearing the different layers of their songwriting, which in some cases are, lighter and fun, in other cases, like self-reflective, like, Man in a Suitcase, and the idea of, what it's like to live that life, but also addressing some more serious issues at points. So I'm curious, what they might do with this pretty much overtly philosophical title, which seems to directly relate to the title of the album. So I'll stop talking and we'll listen to it. This is Ghost in the Machine by the Police, and the track is called Spirits in the Material World. I know this song. I heard this song. Which is funny because, like, it's the title phrase, but I couldn't hear that looking at it on the page. The melodic layers. The reggae vibes. I feel like that's in live form. You could probably jam for a couple minutes longer there. But yeah, it's funny. Like I said, looking at the phrase on the page, I didn't hear that. But the moment it got to the chorus, like, oh man, I heard this. Which is funny because like right when it started, even the keys at the start, it was like, I feel like maybe I heard this, but it didn't. It didn't click strongly enough. It just felt like, oh, like it's one of those things where it sounds of the time that it comes from, perhaps, but no, actually, when it got to the chorus, it made me realize at some point, somewhere, I've heard that. So, yeah, a catchy tune, and again, I suppose part of it being as short as it was, it's like, I feel like that's perfectly tight for, like a radio release. It feels like, it's stripped down to like the essential structure of the track, and that, maybe there'd be a 12-inch mix or like a extended version with, again, maybe a longer instrumental interlude and then another once over of the chorus, and then the ride out. But either way, yeah, a cool tune, and one that makes me wonder whether beyond, I did notice in the track list when I downloaded this, once again, shout out to Lori, at least one other tune along the way that I will recognize. But I do wonder whether there might be others. So yeah, and ultimately, I didn't really get a sense for what the declaration that we are spirits in a material world, what that boils down to in this perspective, but just perhaps the idea that this is transitory, this is, but one chapter of a, much longer, or perhaps, again, depending on who you ask, eternal story. So, I wonder if it's running in a similar direction in terms of speculating about these philosophical implications of, a ghost in a machine, or indeed spirits in the material world. But either way, a cool tune, and one that I wonder, where and when I heard it. Anyway, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.